Well, as we start this episode, we got chainsaws going up. We referenced this earlier that it's easier to send a chainsaw up to somebody than have them come down, grab it, and then bring it back up. I think this one was getting more fuel. I don't think it was a change of chainsaw. I think it was just need to be refueled. And while that's going on, look what's entered the field here. This is our backhoe clawer, which is going to be used to load up the trailer with logs.
Boom! Look at that. Crane. Todo.
Poor guy has his chain break on his chainsaw. You just saw it. You just saw it break just there. So he's got to set it aside and get a new chain on there. So that slows that process down a little bit. But like I said, the logs, which is great for us and for our neighbor that are getting loaded into that truck, they're going to be backed down the hill once the trailer's full and rolled into our neighbor's driveway where he's going to cut them up and use them for firewood this coming winter. So we'll see that. I think in the next video we'll get to that part of it. But this tree continues to come down piece by piece until we get to a point where they'll be able to fell the entire thing, which we'll see before this video is over.
That was a big one. I'll take it.
Yeah, I reckon they're waiting until they get those going.
Right.
this will take a little bit of time, so it's a pretty big tree, right? This is the red oak. The front two they took down earlier were white oaks, and then the other tree in the backyard was an ash. But this red oak, we were talking with the owner of the company here, and he was saying that the sad thing about red oaks is that they oftentimes die from the inside, and when they reach their life expectancy, you know, there's nothing you can really do for them. And so we were actually curious to see, because we knew it had that bowl at the bottom, so we knew it was hollow. You could tap it, you knew it was dying, but we really didn't know to what extent. And we'll get a chance before this series of videos is over. We'll get a closer look at the stump to see exactly how much of it was gone. But if it weren't leaning this much, we might have been able to kind of, you know, keep it around for a couple more years, because it was still, outward appearance-wise, it was still pretty healthy. But this lean on it, plus the branches that were hanging out over the house, we just couldn't afford to keep it. So he's cutting a big old wedge in it right now, and you can see the guide wire or guide line up at the top of the tree. So they got to make sure this thing falls right, because not only does it to not fall in the house, but there's a slope that leads back towards the house. So if it falls wrong and then rolls, that could cause damage too. So you actually see him towards the end here, after he's got the wedge in, he'll loop another rope around the trunk near the base here in order to prevent it from rolling once they get it to fall down. And then in the next video, we'll see them cut this thing up and see how they roll the logs, roll them down the hill, which is actually really fun to watch, because they'll play catch with the claw machine. You'll get what I mean when you see it. Could hear my neighbor yelling timber, and it was a loud thump as it landed. So this video is going to end, and then in the next one, we'll see them load up the trailer, drop off those logs, and the rest of the cleanup.